No, I mean, with a young quarterback with Dillon starting, you want to make sure he gets a lot of the reps. Different when you have a veteran like Joe, I would tell you. But still getting reps in a bunch of periods.
Once you start to see who Dillon Gabriel is, and they start to see who Dillon Gabriel is, they're going to try to take some credit for Shedeur Sanders.
The first things out of Dan Orlovsky's mouths is pre- and post-snap recognition, all pro level. The media's job is to frame certain things, so it's no coincidence that we're starting to see Shedeur Sanders being ready to play. That soft launch. Mary Kay is all of a sudden Shedeur's biggest fan. The media is starting to throw Dillon Gabriel aside because he can't throw the ball more than 10 yards. Well, it looks like Kevin Stefanski is trying to slow all that down because he just initially reported this right here. We're going to listen to Kevin Stefanski and Dillon Gabriel, and then we're going to yap a little bit.
No, I mean, with a young quarterback with Dillon starting, you want to make sure he gets a lot of the reps. Different when you have a veteran like Joe, I would tell you. But still getting reps in a bunch of periods.
So that was Kevin Stefanski answering the question, and the question was basically that Shedeur Sanders is not getting any first-team reps, unlike when Dillon Gabriel was the backup to Joe Flacco. Obviously, he got first-team reps because they were prioritizing his development. Now, I have been the one to say this, that, hey, there should be no reason why anybody should be confident in Shedeur going out in an offense led by Kevin Stefanski. One, because it's shown to be completely putrid, even with the perfect guy running the offense, the supercomputer that he wanted so much that they reached past the 4th and 5th rounds to get him. That's just what happened. That's just the facts, right? This offense doesn't look great with the guy that was supposed to be his guy. I don't think Kevin Stefanski has the wherewithal or ability to make Shedeur Sanders take the next level and leap. So I am big on letting him, hey, let's take our time as much as we can. However, and a lot of y'all in my comments, and I'm gonna have to be fair to y'all get mad when I say, hey, let him develop. Now, when Joe Flacco was in there, you ain't gonna argue with me, because what you're getting is a veteran who's gonna give things that that no other person can. Multiple Super Bowl wins and stuff like that. Like, there's a level of experience that Joe Flacco had, and clearly their relationship was well documented to be positive, right? So I think he was, even if he wasn't getting the reps, he was developing on the mental side, developing on how to be a leader, because you're seeing Joe Flacco. At this point, it makes no sense when you have two young rookie quarterbacks not to give them the most amount of reps. But let's speak about a real quick situation, because Darrell Reuter, the conversation around the media, again, the media is painting a narrative, right? So whenever Shedeur gets in there, they're painting a narrative. And the big one is, hey, Dillon Gabriel has not been able to push the ball down the field. We looked at the stats the other day, and he had an average depth of target of 6 yards. So not very aggressive when trying to push the ball downfield. Here he is responding some of those, I say, light criticism,
I think there always will be. I think there'll be a balance of either way, right? Either pushing it down the field, or maybe a balance of when people, think you should check it down. And I think that's the balance you work through as a quarterback. And whenever we're in the meeting room, you try to continue to push that balance of when in zone coverage you can high-low and be more aggressive, or bait a defender into taking something. And then there's times where you want to have an immediate reaction, depending on things happening up front or down the field, right? So I think it's just that balance you're continuing to fight. But like I've said before, you want explosives in the pass game, not only vertical throws, but also maybe a 5-yard throw that can go for 20. So any explosives really help.
He's a fan of 5-yard throws that go for 20. Look, Dillon Gabriel's telling you the type of game he wants. Look, I want 5-yarders turned into 20-yarders. So comment down below, how do you feel? People are going to be hypercritical of Shedeur when he starts. I want you to know, in the same way that we're being of Dillon Gabriel, it's going to be 10 times louder for Shedeur. I guarantee you it. I guarantee you it. So with that being said, I want to make sure y'all come back to these videos and be like, oh, well, I mean, he has bad timing. Oh, well, maybe if the coach gave him first team reps. Oh man, he seems to, needs to get a higher ball to Jerry Jeudy right there, maybe a softer ball. Well, if he got first team reps, maybe that wouldn't be a problem. You feel me? So let's be honest when we start doing these assessments, because we're gonna sit here and do this, but then when he gets his opportunity, we're gonna be surprised if there are communication issues that, well, why has it been? I mean, because y'all have had a whole preseason, y'all have had now almost half of a season. And it seems like there has been no prioritization. Now, I guess the 1 week that y'all said that y'all were going to get him ready for, I guess that's supposed to just get him ready, right? That's supposed to do it. And it's interesting because what we've been hearing from the media is that, from Mary Kay specifically, that she thinks the development has gone really well behind the scenes. All of a sudden, what she's hearing is the people I've talked to that he's making progress in every way. Really, Mary Kay? Really?
Where do you think Shedeur Sanders is as far as development in practice?
I think his development has gone really, really well behind the scenes. That is what I'm hearing with the people that I've talked to. He's doing a really, really nice job. He's making progress in every way, including in all of those ways that they really needed him to, just in terms of being able to get the play articulated, to do some of those other pre-snap things, IDing the defense, and maybe helping to slide the protections and manage the motions and all the things that you have to do pre-snap to make sure that the whole process is going right. And it happens very fast, of course, at this level. And he's getting it. He's really coming along. And the thing about Shedeur, I've written this so many times, I've said it so many times, but he has elite accuracy. And that's the place where I think he has Dillon beat, is in the accuracy piece. But you have to be able to get to that point where you have time to throw that ball and you're getting it out fast enough so that you can get it there on time and all those kinds of things. But in a 7-on-7 drill, if you put those two up next to each other, and you just started doing a red zone 7-on-7, I think Shedeur would win that drill most of the time. But that doesn't mean that
And I do want to point out, he did win it most of the time when they were in preseason red zone. I'm just saying that's where Shedeur shined the most in the preseason.
Would be the better choice at quarterback right at this moment. It means that he has to put the whole package together.
All right, so let me just follow this. We've got about a minute left. Is Dillon Gabriel doing exactly what they want him to do?
Well, he's making progress and he's getting better. And I thought in this past game, he protected the football reasonably well in tough conditions. Didn't fumble it, drop it, or any of those things. He's managing the game well, and that's what you need to see him do right now. Now he's going to have to start to add in some passing game and some explosives. If he can do that, then he will be right on track.
So I want to see from the questions from Daryl Reuter, from the reporting of Mary Kay Cabot, do you see the messaging that is coming? And I'm gonna keep coming back to this. Hey, Rex Ryan, I told y'all. Shout out to all my Facebook people. I'll be posting random clips over there. I don't know. They be going crazy. I'm not on Facebook, but they be following me on Facebook. So they got upset with the Rex Ryan video, and I'm confused because since I made that Rex Ryan video and I said, hey, I'm not trusting Rex Ryan because those things have not been reported by Tony Grossi, Mary Kay, or Tony Rizzo. Now, I'm not saying they're the end-all be-all, but what I am saying is when they leak things, when they start slowly rolling, y'all remember when they were slowly rolling out Dillon Gabriel, when they slowly start, well, can we see the kid? Go back. We was there. We got videos of it. So now they slowly rolling out Shedeur Sanders. Hey, he's finally catching up all of a sudden. Remember that was Mary Kay's buzzword against Shedeur Sanders. Well, is he there pre-snap? That's all we heard. Now, I don't know. Maybe I would argue that if he had first team reps, maybe he would get a different level of pre-step understanding. Maybe he would get the timing better. Maybe he would be with better players and get the full ramifications of what that means better, get the better defenses. I don't know. Hey, but hey, I guess maybe he should have done it, right? He should have been tasked with catching up to Dillon Gabriel, who in every opportunity got the better reps. And again, hey, it's not fair. I get it. I'm fine with that. We can all acknowledge it's not fair, but let's acknowledge that it's not fair. Don't call all the Shedeur cultists crazy when we're like, hey, Shedeur wasn't set up for the best success. We're seeing it. We're admitting, hey, we're not giving him the first team reps. Hey, he's not going to get the experience with the people that are going to be out there if he does have to lead a team to a victory. As long as we can all acknowledge it, that's great. But this situation is a part of a media rollout of Shedeur. So when Shedeur does come out, it's to justify the reasons. If Shedeur looks good, Because if Shedeur looks good, they're gonna look stupid, right? It's gonna if it's an instant, if Dillon Gabriel starts looking really bad and Shedeur comes in and looks, they're gonna look real dumb for basically pissing the season away and finally putting in there. So a lot of people are saying, well, y'all are saying he got developed, but I think the opinion was he was developed, and that was not coming from the Shedeur or the CU aunties. First, I'm gonna run with this, and we have a little bit of proof because I've shown y'all the stats, I've shown y'all the completion awards, offensive player of the year, I've showed you golden arm. Y'all are tired of hearing that. All right, let's get some different things from different people.
I don't think it's coincidence. Through 3 games, he's been pretty unremarkable, and we're starting to hear some of the development that the Browns are telling the local reporters.
This has been my whole point the entire time, was that this was always going to happen this way, and we started to see it 2 weeks ago, and now we're seeing it last week, and now you're seeing it again today. The idea that once you start to see who Dillon Gabriel is, and they start to see who Dillon Gabriel is, they're going to try to take some credit for Shedeur Sanders. This is it. This is their saving grace, is the idea that they're going to try to make it seem as if Shedeur was not even close to ready previously, and now all of a sudden, voila, he's ready. And I'm
boom. So, and for some people, and again, some people don't watch football. Some people don't keep up with draft processes. So some of the Shedeur haters, they literally might just think Shedeur is actually bad at football, and people just oh my God, Deion Sanders just convinced everybody that Shedeur was the first team rep. Here's a guy, right? Dan Orlovsky. Everybody's, I call him the mid quarterback protector in the modern NFL. Now, he's gone back and said, of course, when Shedeur slid, it was, oh, well, this is the reason why he slid and this is that. But before, when it was readily acceptable that Shedeur was a first-round pick, what did you have to say, Dan Orlovsky?
Why would teams talk themselves into drafting him?
Well, he's got all-pro capabilities, seeing things pre to post snap, and his ability to see the field is...
Okay. Pre to post snap, all pro ability. You see how that's how sloppy these Cleveland narratives are. Y'all can't even, why would y'all, Mary Kay, and that's why I kept pointing it out. I don't know how long y'all been watching, but Mary Kay's been on this. Oh, it's just the pre-snap stuff. That's the issue. He's not being able to assign the coverages, the blocking schemes. That's been the big issue. The first things out of Dan Orlovsky's mouths is pre and post snap recognition, one of his strengths. All pro level. How about a head coach for Texas Tech? Now, Texas Tech's a wagon now. We got head coach from Texas Tech. We got head coach from North Dakota State. Just remember, Tim Pulaski. Pulisic. These are, very respected programs. What did they have to say? No. Did Deion pay them to say this?
Yeah. 4 weeks ago, getting started on this process, everybody's asking about Colorado. My mind, just went to off-schedule plays, him making things happen, outside the pocket or, off schedule, right? He's the best player that NDSU has played yet. Okay, and I really believe that. This guy is process-oriented. He's progression-based. He's aware of footwork and timing and rhythm. He takes what the defense gives him. Okay, he goes to the right spots, and then on top of that, he can play off a platform.
I mean, I don't know, dog. Maybe Deion paid the people, huh? Maybe the CU aunties made that an AI. I don't know. Joey, I forgot his name. Joey, I'm gonna get his name while we
probably the leader. And then, in my opinion, I think that Shedeur Sanders is the best quarterback in college football. If I was an NFL GM and I had a pick to where I needed a quarterback, he'd be the first quarterback taken in this year's draft. He should.
Joey McGuire. I always forget his name, but that's Joey McGuire, obviously leader of the once top-ranked Texas Tech Raiders. But clearly, it gets a little wild in the Big 12. But we're not going into that. And I want to say all these things because I think some people look at me as a obnoxious glazer of Shedeur Sanders. And at the end of the day, if you think of me like that, that's fine. I really don't care. It is what it is, but no, I'm someone who's been watching football for a long time. I'm someone who respects the elders of football. And and when Manning comes through and everybody's hating on Manning, and I'm a big Manning guy, I'm sorry. I grew up watching Eli and Peyton. I was a Peyton Manning over Tom Brady guy. So I'm gonna, when the next small Manning comes, when Chris Henry Jr., who's what's it called, gonna go to freaking Ohio State, he's like 6'6". It means something to me. It means something when these players with that represent things, right? Someone who was a legend in the HBCU sphere, right, was a part of adding a larger light to the HBCU levels of football like that. These are important parts of football. Like the things you saw from Colorado those first 2 years of Shedeur there, that was some exciting, exhilarating football. They're still breaking records of viewership, right? So, to all the Shedeur haters, right? Because I know my CU aunties, my Shedeur lovers, and everybody else, they don't need to be convinced. I ask you this: do you think it's possible that someone just likes football, sees Shedeur, sees his capabilities, saw all of the head coaches, the Dan Orlovskis, the media members, go check NFL? Y'all can go Google it. I applaud you, or I implore you to go Google search Shedeur Sanders draft grades. You're going to see some second round grades. You're going to see some first round grades. You're going to see some great, but what you're going to see is a high caliber respect of his game, right? There's clear short footings. I'm not going to tell you that Shedeur Sanders is going to be the next Patrick Mahomes. I'm not, even though I think he have a better record than him in the same conference. Well, we ain't going to talk about it. What, and I mess with Patrick Mahomes too. I'm not saying that Shedeur is gonna be the greatest ever. But there are things that are happening that just aren't fair. Now, I'm not demanding anything. I am just demanding that we remember how it happened. I'm demanding that if y'all do come back to say, oh well, he didn't look as good here, he didn't blah blah blah. Well, I mean, look at what they're doing. Look how they're setting it up. Look how the media is setting it up, man. It's getting real nasty. But let me know how you feel down below in the comments. Like this video if you like it. Dislike if you don't. Subscribe if you like football content of all shapes, sizes, forms, and fashion. Continue to be great. We'll see you next time. Peace.